So the session is currently being recorded, and the way it's designed is that at the end of the course, the sessions, the platform is organized in a way such that the recordings is stored, will definitely be sent into the channel, and then you will be able to access the recording for every session we are going to have. Okay, so it's a professional training. We want to treat it as such, and we want to give you the best you will be able to help grow your career, especially if you're a novice. But okay, let me just try to let me understand more about every other person here. So my name is Frederick Achiever Okereke. Okay, that's my full name, and you can call me Achiever. That's what you will see on my profile. So if you don't see Achiever, you will see Frederick on my profiles outside here. But on the platform here, you will see Achiever. It's still me, Frederick Achiever Okereke. That's my full name. So, and I will be one of your trainers, right? So we have another trainer. We also have support team, and we also have our boss, Mr. Mayo, that's going to be on the training with us as well. So how many of you this is your very first time learning about DevOps? But before I go on, before maybe we start addressing this question, please can you let me know, how comfortable are you all using this platform? Is it easy? Have you been able to navigate your way around it? I think you will enjoy it much more if you're using a PC and you sign in. You'll be able to explore all the options that comes with it. All right. So please let me know. You can use the comment section. You can click on chat at the bottom right and type. All right, so that we can get your feedback and know how best to serve you. All right. So is there any problem? Is anybody having difficulty so far using the chat, using the application? Is this seamless for everybody? Are we good? Okay, great. Thank you so much. All right, great. Awesome. Awesome. So okay, good. Great. So all right. So importantly, let's just let's go back to this. So like everyone, the comment section, everybody has been saying it's so far based on the feedback I've seen here. I think we are comfortable with so far the feedbacks I'm seeing is you guys are comfortable using it. And all right, good. So that's a very, very good response from everybody. Thank you so much. So and I think this is also where you'll be getting your so if you don't see it here, you're going to get a notification somewhere here, either immediately after the session or maybe some few hours after the session. The recording will be available. All right, good. So, and you can also please confirm if you can see that it's recording. Okay, from your end, it should tell you if it's recording or not. All right. So, having said that, so can we introduce ourselves? I want to get to know everybody. I really want this to be very, very interactive. I want this to be very, very, I want us to build a community, a family, right? So that we can freely express ourselves without making it so difficult to share our concerns or challenges when we get stuck during the learning program, okay? I want it to be very, very simple and we can relate with one another. If this is your very first time, okay, let's do it this way. From 1 through 10, can you rate yourself? What's your learning experience on DevOps? Is this your first time learning about DevOps? Can you rate yourself 1 through 10? Where do you see yourself? 1 or 10? or 5, or this is your first time into IT. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Habib. Thank you, Mr. Nonser. Thank you, Popola. Thank you. Please, can we get more persons give their feedbacks so we know how to manage? All right. Okay, that's fair. Thank you. All right. Oh, awesome. You're welcome, Mr. Cannon. You're welcome. All right. Ashraf, thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, okay. Mr. Namani said 5. Great. Okay, good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We've been able to get up to 6 responses or 7 responses, which is average the number of persons currently participating on this poll, right? So we are about 13, excluding myself and Mr. Mayor, right? So and we have over 7 persons that's giving a response, so that's good. So this is going to help me to know how I am going to choice of words. Okay, it's going to help me to know how best to serve you. Please, I want to encourage everybody to put themselves on mute. Remember that this is being recorded, and if you want to have a very, very smooth experience when listening, you will, if you want to enjoy the recording, you wouldn't want to have those interruption and noise on the background. Okay, please do me a favor and mute yourself if you do so mistakenly. All right. Okay. So having said that, and having known yourselves from, I can literally see your names on the call. So you're welcome. So I can see. Awesome. I'm so happy we have females here. Awesome. I'm so happy. I'm always excited. It's as though the males are usually dominating in the trainings. Majority of the trainings I've done, even for the year previously. So okay, I can see Mrs. Mary. Okay, I don't know if okay. I didn't see a response from her. Okay, but that's fine. That's okay. Welcome everybody. And so this is the outline. If you all can still see my screen, please can you see the document I have here? Kindly confirm on the comment section if you can see it. Please let me know in the comment section if you can see it. Okay, yes, I can. Great, great. All right, great. Thank you so much. So now, there are a lot of tools we are going to be introducing you all to, right? And the technologies we'll be exposing you all to. It's going to be slow and steady, okay? And we're going to make sure that it's going to be interesting and exciting for you to learn, okay? If this is your first time, you have to just buckle your belt and just be expectant to learn a lot of things. Open your mind, okay? I'll try to keep the terminologies very, very simple so you can relate with them, okay? Now, so these are not the whole technologies and tools we will be discussing. That's why you can see many more here, all right? So there's so many other things because we don't want to overwhelm you all. That's why we have things like this here, all right? So having said that, this program was designed to be very, very professional, and there's going to be a lot of mix with a lot of security involved in it. So we're going to be building and doing DevOps from a security perspective. Okay, I'm also a security engineer. Okay, I'm a security engineer. I'm a trainer, and I'm also a okay, just for short, I'm a security engineer and also a trainer. Okay, so I also train people on DevOps and other things as well. Okay, so there are different things I do. If you want to check my profile on LinkedIn, we can be friends. We can connect and get to know each other. In fact, it's one of the things we will be doing in the course of the program. We are going to be very, very loud about our learning. Okay, we are going to document our learning, especially for people who are learning for the very first time. Okay, We're going to show you strategies where you can gain visibility and you can learn and build your network with people that have gone ahead of you in the program or in the DevOps learning journey, right? So we're going to expose you to platforms and other things as such as possible. Okay. Another interesting thing I do by the side is also technical writing. So the program is so rich that we're also going to expose you to things like that. And that's why if you watch down here, you will see that this is just a few of them in summary, right? So we are going to be guiding you all with job application processes, how DevOps jobs are being, how do you apply for a DevOps job, right? We can do a resume session, how give you a template. I'll show you one of my resumes, right? That helps me to get offers and show you how you can prepare yours, right? Show you the kind of words to use and also prepare you for them. Your choice of words, the kind of questions that are usually being asked in DevOps interviews, right? How do you address them? Those are the kind of things we will expose you to in the course of the program, okay? Now, sometimes it will be done during the session. Sometimes we may hold just a workshop exclusively for interviews, right? It could be, for instance, there's a tool called Docker. So we could call it a Docker interview session. You understand? And that session will just be exclusively on Docker. You understand? Questions and answers and so on and so forth. You will get to the point whereby you become so confident that we will be asking you questions to see how you will respond to them. You understand? So trust me, I've been privileged to train a lot of persons. To be honest, it's over 200 persons, right? I've been doing this for over 10 years, right? And excitingly, I have trained people who have also gotten job offers, right? So this is not just someone who learned how DevOps works in 3 months or 6 months or even 1 year and is excited to teach another person. That's a good thing as well, but I am bringing my years of experience both as an engineer and also as a trainer and teacher. You understand? Someone who has worked with people, who has empathy enough to hold and guide people through the process of learning. All right? So those are the things we will be bringing to the desk to show you so that you can feel confident enough to go through the journey. All right? So the second thing we have here is Jira collaboration opportunities. Now, okay, this is not supposed to be here, but what we're trying to say here is there is a tool called Jira, right? And you will learn how it works. We introduce you to it. Sometimes we will give group work. We could pair 1 or 2 persons and tell you, you need to pair with this person to perform certain task. You will need to raise a ticket. You need to solve that ticket. You understand? So we'll show you how everything works, and that will be how you will be learning and also attempting the task and responsibilities that will be assigned to you in the course of the programs. Okay, so this is also a great tool that is usually used by professionals in the industry in real world settings. Okay, in a corporate setting, that's what I mean. So now we will also be using a lot of architectural diagrams to buttress our details, right? To expatiate more on the illustrations. Everything we will say to you, right? Every demonstration, we will try to put it in a picture format, right? Draw diagrams just to elucidate better, all right? Now, if you're the kind of person who is very active on LinkedIn, you will agree with me that you will see a lot of people putting a lot of diagrams, putting a lot of architectures and posting it online, right? And then you will also learn how to do those kind of things, all right? Because those are the kind of things employers, recruiters are looking out for, right? They love those architectures, right? So, okay, please, let's mute ourselves, okay? Kindly check if you're on mute, kindly do so and mute yourself. All right, The next thing we're going to also expose you to is technical writing. So when we start, because this is going to be a hands-on program, right? It's going to be a hands-on program. So for the first few sessions, there will be a lot of theoretical explanation, of course, littered with practical hands-on. You understand? But interestingly, there will be a lot of hands-on projects and the rest of them. And you will be expected to write a technical documentation for those projects. I don't know if this makes sense to you. For every project you do, you will be expected to have a technical documentation to back it up. You will need to explain it, like you will create an article or you will put down those implementation steps on how you solve the problem and everything you did to get the job done. Okay, so we'll just be showing you what it is, it seems, or the process it takes to become a good technical writing engineer, if there's anything like that. But one of the skills that is always required is you should be very good in documentation. You should be very good in writing down what you've learned or what you think somebody else can learn from you. Let me ask a question. How would you feel if you get a job and they asked you to perform a task and the previous engineer that was there resigned a few days before you resumed? Now, if they ask you to check the platform and get started and let them know if you have any issues, how would you feel if you go to the platform and you see if a button that says help and you click on the help button, let's say something like this, and you see something like training or help. When you click on it, you now saw a documentation telling you how to go about using that application or the program step by step. You will be very, very glad that someone has made your job very easy. You understand? So a lot of the time, organizations usually love documentation. When you're working with developers, there's a lot of documentations that will be done, either for API or for the application or the entire system overall. There'll be a lot of documentation. So that's the reason why we're introducing you to things like that. All right. So we'll also require you to create videos. Now, you're also going to be expected to create a YouTube channel. Every single person on this call, you are expected, in fact, this is what we expect you in the next class, to have a YouTube channel. Okay, so we're going to require it from you and expect you to share a link for it. Okay, so you're going to create your own personal YouTube channel. Okay, you can give it any name of your choice. All right, now it's also expected that there are some projects we will ask you to do, and when you do those projects, you will need to create a screencast. In other words, you will record yourself demonstrating or implementing that project. Okay, so now you may be wondering, is this possible? Can I do it? Is this not too much? The answer is yes, you can. So what do I mean? In one way or the other, let me say, you know how to talk to people, right? You may have recorded yourself saying one or two things before, or you've been captured recording you. You've captured yourself maybe using your mobile phone to explain something, or just for the fun of it, right? It's the same thing. We will expose you to tools you can use to create your own, do your own recording. It's not difficult. We might even have a session on how I do my own recording, show you the tool, and I can even send the link for you so you can use that, and it's very, very flawless. It's just like CapCut, but it's not CapCut, right? It's actually Camtasia. Camtasia. Let me show you. So you say Control T. Camtasia. I hope I'm correct. Yeah, it is. So this is the recording software. So this is what we'll be using. I usually use. There are a lot of them out there. Okay. There's also something we call Descript. Let me see. Am I correct? Yeah, Descript. So it's also a video and editing software as well. Okay, so we will expose these tools to you all, show you how it works. So in the course of it, when we give you some certain projects to do, okay, some of them you will be documenting them, some of them you will be creating a video for them, okay, and you'll be expected to upload it to your YouTube channel, and you'll also be expected to share it on your social media platform. Okay, so you can tell the people what you're learning and how your learning progress is going. Okay, and trust me, over time you will become so confident and so competent. That's what happens over time. It may seem overwhelming, it could seem unbelievable at this moment, but trust me, over time you will become so good. All right, so you have access to the videos. Okay, so some of the projects we will do, there will be documentations for it, and you will have access to all of them. All right, any questions so far before I continue? I want to be sure everybody can still hear me and there's no difficulty. Can you all still hear me, please? Any questions so far? Can you all still hear me? Please, you can unmute or you can use the comment section.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So let's continue then. So in the course of the program, right, there will be, so this is something we are supposed to discuss today, right? The idea is we will be having these trainings Friday and Saturday, right? Friday and Saturday, and 7 p.m. through 9 p.m. Now, that time may not be suitable for some persons. Left for me, I really want to move it down to 6 to 8 p.m. or even earlier from 5 to 7 p.m. But I'm considering the number of persons and different factors. But we're going to stick to 7 to 9. But if you have any objection on that, if it's going to be difficult for you, this will be the best time to speak up, right? So that we know if there are a lot of persons that are not comfortable with that time, right? So it's going to be Fridays and Saturdays. In fact, we actually want it to be 3 times a week, if possible, because there are a lot of things to cover, right? Now, but the idea is not to overwhelm you all again, right? So the sessions are going to be 2 hours, all right? They're going to be 2 hours. Sometimes it could be 1 hour, and sometimes it could be 4 hours or more. It all depends on how exciting the sessions are going. And that does not mean that if for any reason you're overstretched, we won't end the session. All right. So it's regardless, we are not working with it. As much as we want to cover the session within the stipulated time, we also do not want to overwhelm you because we are trying to cover everything within the stipulated time. I hope this makes sense to everybody. So that's okay. The timings you're speaking about, what time zone are you on? Yes, W80, please, Mr. Habib. W80. That's GMT +1. Okay? GMT +1. I hope that makes sense. All right. So having said that, please let me know if you have any concerns with that, then we know how to manage them. So remember, there will be recording for all the sessions. And another interesting thing is this. It's also possible that within the weekdays, there will be troubleshooting sessions. Okay? Troubleshooting sessions or some workshops or mini session. Okay? Now the truth is this, even if you miss those sessions, you will still have access to the recording. Okay? Because, okay, let me show you some interesting things we intend to cover during some of those sessions. So we have things like how to buy a domain, building your personal portfolio, okay, system design, how to build how to set up a real world production server, mini SQL, minimum SQL, like SQL is our structured query language. If you've not done this before, don't worry, okay? Don't be overwhelmed with this kind of things. It's going to be slow and steady. So that's why it's called workshops, okay? So we're going to do some things on Linux auditing. We're going to do some things on build tools. We're going to do some things on securing and hardening of a Linux environment, okay? Some common system admin task. So things like that and many more, all right? So those are some special kind of workshops, all right? So we're going to do all those things. Some of them will fall during the weekdays. Some of them will fall during the weekends, okay? By next week, we're going to show you the updated timetable so that you can be aware when each session is holding, what you're having today, and what you'll be having in the next class, right? That's how it's going to work, all right? So remember that there is going to be recording for every of this session, all right? So we will no longer be using Discord and Slack. So we all have access to WebEx now, all right? So and there's going to be CV preparation session, which is the same thing we've talked about here. So the template, so we'll show you how that works. Examples of real life interviews and mock interviews. So these are the things we've talked about already. So the next important thing is the curriculum. All right. So week 1 into introduction to DevOps, setup, configuration, and introduction to the cloud. All right. So that's what we're going to cover. What DevOps is, how to set up some environments, and tell you what to do, how to just get started. What is this DevOps all about? All right. What value will I be bringing to an organization if I become a DevOps engineer? How much can I earn? Why is this a lucrative skill? What are the assurances that if I learn DevOps after this period of time, I will be able to become valuable? I can have the promises or I will get a job. You understand? Because the truth is this, it depends on how valuable you are. And I'm going to throw in a lot of experience and 1 or 2 advices that can also help your journey. Okay? I've literally seen people in 6 months or even 3 months, they got jobs. Some of them got interviews. And I've seen people with 3 years experience, but yet they are struggling to get a job. It happens, not just in the DevOps world, it also happens in the security world. Okay? So we are also going to talk about Linux, how Linux works, do some troubleshooting on Linux. We're going to learn how to build and deploy applications. We're going to learn about version control with Git. We're also going to learn, we're going to do some projects, you understand? So this is one of the projects among many of them, okay? There's so many projects here, so many projects. It's a hands-on program, so everything will be communicated to us. You understand? Everything. These are interesting projects, okay? So because some of you are seeing this for the very first time, it may seem overwhelming, okay? You may be wondering, what is all this? CI/CD project deployed with Terraform and GitHub Actions, serverless, Python programming. Oh, I hate programming. Don't worry, trust me. You will learn the basics required. And as one of the instructors, I can guarantee that you will learn it well. Okay? Trust me, it's doable. We can. All right? So we're going to expose you to things like that and so on and so forth. There'll be a lot of projects, okay? We should be able to cover over 10. I don't want to say 20 now, but we will cover over 10 projects in the course of the whole. So now these projects are going to range from beginner projects to corporate projects that you can use on your resume. Okay? So any questions so far before we move to other interesting things? Any questions so far? Anybody has a question for me? All right, Mr. Daniel, go ahead, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for shedding more light to this content. However, I wanted to ask the second week, sorry, it says building and deploying applications, meaning we are going to be building applications as well, right?
So, yeah. So the idea behind that is we're going to be doing things like we're going to expose you to some build tools, right? Okay, let me put it this way. It's more about, okay, as a DevOps engineer, right?
Yes.
I'm going to answer your question with something that happened to me in the real world.
Okay.
I had a situation whereby I got a DevOps role back in the years, and I was exposed to a lot of tools. Back then, there was a lot of hype for tools. Somebody wants to ask you if you know how to, if you understand DevOps, they will ask you if you've done anything on Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, Prometheus, Grafana. They mentioned a whole lot of amazing tools, right? And we were just hopping from one tool to another tool to another tool. It was just hopping, you understand, just to have myriads of tools in our arsenal that we can tell people that, yes, I know how to do this. Not understanding the concepts behind them, how they work, the problems they are solving, and how it connects with each other. Okay, what's the relationship between Ansible and Terraform? Are they both infrastructure tools? If they are, what's the difference? When will you prefer to use Terraform over Ansible? And when do you prefer to use Ansible over Terraform? You understand? So those kind of understanding, I didn't have them sufficiently back when I started, right? So, but I had a lot of tools in my arsenal, and when I got the job, they asked me to they exposed me to their code base and asked me to create an auto deployment for them, right? And I was confused. I was very confused. All right, I was very, very confused. I didn't know how to solve the task because, in fact, the project the company was using, or in for better wording, they were actually using JavaScript for their programming language. Okay, if you've not heard about JavaScript, don't worry. Okay, I'm still going to break all these things later. Okay, but just know that the application they were building or they asked me to host to deploy was written on a language called JavaScript. In fact, to be precise, in backend, it's actually called Next.js. Next.js. Okay, it's a backend framework. It's a framework used for building application, right? So I won't go into all those details right now, but let me just address the question. So because I haven't done it before, it was so overwhelming. I was struggling. It was so difficult for me. Okay. So, but long story short, I was able to solve that problem. Okay. So we are bringing those experiences into this program such that we will be showing you things like we could just show you how to write a simple Python application, or we could just give you a simple Python application and ask you to deploy this application. All right, can you provide a link to show that this application is working? How do you deploy this application? You understand? If it's a simple Java application, can you deploy this application? Can you host it on AWS and provide a link to show me that it's working? Right? So what about if it's a Node.js application? You understand? So we're going to show you how to package, how packaging is done, right? Because as the DevOps engineer, you are not responsible for building or writing these applications. It's not your primary responsibility. Even if you have the skill, it's an added advantage, but it's not yours. It's not expected, or it's not a necessity. But if you have it, it's a plus, right? So we are going to be showing you how you can package those kind of applications. All right. So maybe if time permits us, we'll still dive deeper into other things, but we want to take it slow and steady so that you don't get overwhelmed. because there are a lot of technologies, a lot of concepts that you will be learning. And because we have over 5, 6 person, 7 persons here that are completely new, we'll be taking it slow and steady, but consistently we will get to the advanced sections and we'll be able to do a lot of projects, a lot of practical things, how to connect all these technologies together, how to connect Jenkins with a CI/CD platform called GitLab, which is also used for version control, which is source management. Apart from GitHub, there's something called GitLab. We'll show you how to use GitLab, Jenkins, or how to use GitLab and Kubernetes. You understand? All those kind of things. We'll show you how to use those tools together. We may start off by introducing you to each of these tools, right? We may say, okay, let's learn about Jenkins. We could say, let's learn about GitLab. Let's learn about Docker. Let's learn about Ansible. Let's learn about Terraform. When we get to a point, we'll start showing you how to put all these tools together to solve a problem. You understand? So I don't know if this has answered your question, Mr. Daniel Dumbler.
Yes, sure. It has answered my question. I was really concerned. I thought, when I saw building and deployment, I thought we're still going to go through the
You did it from
whole,
scratch. Okay.
yeah, I thought we were still going to go through the whole building application, like software development process and all of those things.
I would have loved to do that, but considering the duration and also considering the audience, it may not be something we've all prepared for, right? So we might do that when we start learning Python. We will be able to at least write 1 or 2 what is it called, Python applications, right? When we start learning Python, we'll still do some of those things, right? But again, I don't want to overwhelm anybody. Trust me, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be hands-holding and also going to be engaging and challenging, right? So we will get to all those fun aspects over time.
All right. Thank you so much. I look forward to it.
You're welcome. Any other question from somebody else? Please feel free to unmute yourself, or you can use the comment section to say something. If there's none, please let me know so I can move on. Do I continue? Okay. So in the absence of so we are going to do the exclusively. So we've actually started, okay? What we're going to do exclusively for today is going to be the setup, okay? So in the next class, we're going to do the introduction, where we are going to start the fun projects, right? It's going to be from next week, right? So, but for today's class, it's going to be basically about setup and the rest of them, okay? The kind of tools you need to use, the kind of what you need to install on your computer, how to set it up, and so on and so forth. You understand? The kind of tools we'll be using, okay? We'll talk about tools like okay, we have need for Postman, because we actually have sessions where we want to show you something. There's something called APIs, right? How to work with an API and to use Postman to. So I don't want to confuse anybody for now. It's going to be very interesting. So because I want to introduce you to the way it works in the real world, okay? Most of the things we're exposing you to in this program, it's outside what you will see some people's curriculum. You could go and check, right? So I'm showing you some things you are expected to know as a DevOps engineer when you get the job. So those are the kind of things I will be exposing you to, real world knowledge, okay? So let's just open our minds for all those things, okay? And that's why I said there will be weekday sessions, okay? It may not be every day, okay? But it could just be on a particular day. We're going to be having a weekday session. It could be 1 hour. So we'll just do a simple workshop. It will be recorded and available on the channel, okay? It could just be that day, introduction to REST APIs and using Postman. It could be how to work with SQL using Postgres and MySQL, right? So different kinds of things, introduction to databases using Postgres and Redis or MemCached-DB and all those kind of interesting things. Both so I don't want to overwhelm anybody. So these are interesting tools, all right? So we will be learning how to use them, all right? So, but for now, just so we can get started, we are going to just understand some basic things. All right, so if you are just joining us, you're welcome. Okay, so, all right, so if you can see my screen, the interesting thing you have here is just we're trying to demonstrate something here, all right? So this first image here, this is showing us code. There's a code here, okay? Now, if you don't know what code simply means, it simply means instructions, okay? The instructions you use to package your application, to make your application work, all right? Just know your application, all right? So your application code, right, is usually stored somewhere. Developers or programmers write code and they store it somewhere, which we call source code manager, okay? Source code management tool, okay? And this source code management tool is called Git. I hope this is not overwhelming. Please feel free to ask questions if you're stuck, okay? Developers usually build application. For instance, WhatsApp, it's an application. Facebook, it's an application. It's either a web application, a mobile application, a desktop application, or different other formats of applications. All right. Now we're going to get to the point where I'm going to explain some things and start writing notes for you all. Okay. But for right now, it's just going to be we're just going to do some installations and the rest of them. Okay. So I'm just trying to explain this before we move to do that. This is what the developers will do. Okay, they will store the code somewhere, and one of the tools that does that is called Git. Okay, and on your local computer you will install Git, and with your Git you will be able to manage the code. The developers move a step further to push that code from their Git local repository and store it somewhere called GitHub. Yes. Okay, GitLab and the rest of them, Bitbucket. So, but we're going to just take it slow and steady. Okay, it's not a battle of how many of the source code management tools, online repositories you know. Okay, so it's just going to be slow and steady. So this is going to be online. This is going to be on the local computer. Okay, we are going to learn how all these things work for those of you that don't know it at all. Okay, so if it's on GitHub, sometimes we usually connect our applications. Okay, we have applications that can be hosted on the cloud, and we also have applications that can be hosted somewhere locally. Okay, so which we call remote server. Okay, you may have heard this word before, remote server. The key word there, remote, simply means not where you are. Okay, if somebody tells this guy lives in a remote village, what it means is he lives in a village that is distant away from where he is. Okay, remote, very far away. It's not where he is. Okay, so it's the same thing. It's a server, but it's a remote one. Okay, a remote server. So an example of that kind of setup, it could be a virtual box. That kind of analogy. I will explain more into all these concepts. All right. So imagine an application that moves from the local repository to GitHub, and then that application can now be hosted either on the cloud or on a remote server. The users, you and I, can now access that application either on the cloud or from the remote server. This is an analogy of what happens day to day when we access applications. Even the WebEx platform we are currently using, that's a simple analogy of how it works. although there's a lot of technologies and tools that happens between this point to this point, okay? But this is a simple analogy of what usually happens, okay? All right, so now, one of the things we will want to do on this session, we're going to install a tool called Git. We're going to create our GitHub account if we do not have, and we're also going to create an AWS account. If you don't have, I'll tell you alternatives for it, okay? And then we're going to learn how to set up VirtualBox. We're also supposed to learn how to install Vagrant, okay? Vagrant, configure our CLI, okay? So either we set up Azure CLI or AWS CLI, okay? We'll just learn them and also install Postman. So that's what we're not delving into them, but we just want to have these tools available. I want to be sure that before we move to the interesting aspect of it, everybody has their setup already done, such that when we start doing the project, there won't be any delay from anybody saying, oh, no, I have not set up my computer yet, or I'm having issues and so on. That's the primary reason why we're doing this today, okay? So, from the call, please, friends, can you let me know how many of you still, what is it called? How many of you have GitHub account? How many of you know, if you know what GitHub is, or you have a GitHub account, please can you just type yes on the comment section? If you have a GitHub account already, please just type yes. Thank you, Mr. Bowie. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, 3 persons. 4, 5. Okay. 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 No. Okay. Okay. Okay, the other bootcamp is already about to start. Okay. All right. So, okay. So we have a handful no and a lot of yeses. Interesting. Okay. So that's fine. So for the sake of the people that has a lot of no's, so I'll just do that little demo. Okay. So but before we even go on to do all this GitHub, Git, and the rest of them, right? Because another tool I was supposed to mention is VS Code. Okay, VS Code, right? So we will be using VS Code as our editor. There are other editors out there, PyCharm, IntelliJ, and the rest of them, Eclipse, and the rest of them. But we will just keep it very simple so that we don't complicate things. VS Code does a lot of magic. I would have used Sublime Text, okay? But I don't want to confuse anybody, or even Atom or WebStorm, but we'll just stick to VS Code. All right. So I want to be sure everybody has this setup done. So where you write your code, where developers usually write their code, okay, the language, the program, the application is on a tool called VS Code. Okay, VS Code. So I'm going to share the link in case you don't have that. All right. So I'm just going to come here and type VS Code. For those of you that don't know it, okay, this is what you need to do. Okay, just simply go on your search engine and type VS space code. Okay, it's an editor. You can use it to write code. All right. So either you're using Windows or you're using Mac. Okay. Just for clarity, because I usually have this challenge during my training sessions, and it's always important that I ask so that I don't assume for the learners. How many of you are currently using a Mac OS? Please, can you just type yes if you're using Mac OS, or just type Mac OS if that's what you're using. Just type Mac OS. But if you're using Windows, you can just type Windows as well, please. Okay, so we can know. Thank you so much. Okay. 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 Windows. Okay. All right, good. So we have 2 Mac OS users. The reason I'm asking is because it's going to help me to tell you how to navigate some processes or some installation steps in the course of implementation. So I don't tell you to do something whereas it doesn't, that's not how it works in your Mac OS. Okay. So now that I have an idea that we have more than one person that is using Mac OS, then I will consider that in my explanations. All right. Thank you so much, friends. All right. So go to the search engine and just type VS space code. And when you do that, you should see something like this. If you don't have VS code, if you already have VS code, please, that's fine. All right. Don't worry yourself. You don't have to reinstall. Okay. It's just for anybody that has not done this before. All right. So I'm just going to copy this code and share. Or no, I don't want to share this. I'm sure this will be the same for everybody. Okay. So that I don't confuse you and the link takes you somewhere else. All right. So just make sure that it's not showing you an ad and this is not showing you something different and you go somewhere else. Okay. If I know the situation whereby it's maybe for some reason okay, we will also share links within the community. Yeah, that's a good one. Yes. So in fact, I'm actually thinking of uploading some of these applications to a folder and then share the drive link with them. So it will be accessible to everybody. All these tools we will need will just be found in a particular, but because we're all DevOps engineer, I want to show you so that you will know how to do it for yourself, right? Because that's the power of a DevOps engineer. You should be able to go to Google and search for the information you need. Maybe over time, I'll tell you one of the experience I had during a DevOps interview and how Google saved the day for me. You understand? And I got the job actually. All right, so let's continue. So as you all can see, this is VS Code, right? So once you click on this or you click on this, just click on this. It's going to take you to the page. So this is the link here. If you still need it, I can copy it for you. So that's the link. So once you go there, you just click download or you click here and choose your OS, Mac OS, or if you're using Linux, you can use this, all right? So just click on either of them. I'll prefer you use the stable versions and not the insiders versions. Okay. All right. So actually, this will show your operating system. If you're using Mac OS, you should see Mac OS here. But because we're using Windows, that's why I'm using Windows on this PC. That's why you can see it here. All right. So the same thing with what we have here. Okay. Okay. So this is fine. So let me install VS Code on this computer. I clicked on it. So let's see. All right. So can you see? It's actually downloading it, right? All right. So while VS Code is installing, let's move to the next tool. Okay. The next tool I want us to install is called Git. All right. So I'm going to type Git here on the search bar, Git, and hit enter. All right. So I'm just going to click on the first link, right? Friends, if you've done this before, that's fine. All right. So this is Git, and we're going to be installing Git for our local repository. All right. So you can click here, download for Windows. If you're using Mac OS, you should be able to see for Mac OS here. I hope this makes sense. All right. So I think let's close this so you can always, for Mac OS, you see it here written. Okay. If you don't want to, you can click here. It's going to take you, this is for Mac OS, okay? So for Mac users, you will need to install a tool called Homebrew, which is this. And if you click on it, it's going to take you to this point. And all you need to do is just to copy a link and install it. It's going to install Homebrew, okay? So for now, I don't want you to worry about what it is, okay? It's just like it's an installation utility, okay? So it's a package manager for Mac OS, okay? So Mac OS uses Homebrew, Windows uses what we call Chocolatey, okay? But for now, we're going to get to all those things later, right? So If you're a Mac user and you're getting difficulties installing Git, please let me know. All right. So the first thing you should do is install Homebrew, which is what I did here. Right click this and open in a new tab. Once you do that, just click here to copy it. All right. Once you click here to copy the link, you paste it on your terminal. Okay. How do I mean? Just from your search menu, okay, just type terminal. Okay, from your spotlight, just type terminal. Once you type terminal, you should be able to see a black screen. Then paste this command here. Just copy it and paste it somewhere. Okay, once you paste it and hit enter, it will install. Once you're done installing it, then you can now come and say brew install Git, and that's all. And it will install Git for you. So this is another way of installing it. This is another way. Okay, other ways rather of installing Git, but this is the simplest. All right, so this is just exclusive for Mac OS users. All right, but if you're a Windows user, all you need to do is to say download for Windows. It will take you to this point. Now, friends, I want to show you something. Now, this is very important. Even if you've done this before, I just felt I need to explain this, because over time as DevOps engineers, you'll be seeing this, especially if you don't have an idea about it. So that's what we call architecture. Okay, architecture. In other words, the base, the platform, the way the application is being designed. Okay, to keep it very simple, most applications are either written in 32-bit based architecture or 64-bit. Now, sometimes when you're installing applications, it will ask you, is it 32-bit or 64-bit? Okay. Now, this is not just for Git. It could be for any other application you want to download. So you may be wondering, for those of you that are not aware, how do I know which of them to install? I will show you. If you're using a Windows computer, how do you know your bit architecture? It's very simple. You can just either you press Windows E to get something like this, or you just right click this and open something, or you just click here and type PC. Let's see. Okay, I'm typing PC, it's not showing me. Okay, just this PC. Okay, I could just open any folder anyway. I could just open any folder, but okay, let's keep it very simple. Just open your Windows Explorer, okay? Windows and E. This is what I did. Once you open this, click on this PC. Just get to this point of your computer system if you're using Windows, okay? It's very simple. Once you do that, right click here and select properties. I hope I'm not too fast. Right click on the blank space and select properties. Now, when you do just that, this is what you will see. Now, if you take a close look here, you're going to see that this is what 64-bit based operating system. So with this information telling me the system type is 64-bit. Now, if I want to install my application, I will choose this 64-bit and click this, the standalone version. So it starts installing Git. Do we see that? So that's the 64-bit. Another way, you can just do this and type system information. Once you just type system, you see this system information. Click on this. It's going to load the parameters. And if you check closely, take your time, you're going to see system type here, x64 base. I hope this makes sense and it's not overwhelming for you all. All right. Now, if you're a Mac OS user, I think if you check at the top left, there's a way you can check this. If you remember how to check your RAM, somewhere at the top, whenever you want to just check your system properties or system settings, it loads. There's a way when you want to even check the name of your Mac OS, when it's showing you the name and the RAM, you'll always see the architecture there. Okay. for Mac OS, it's not literally that way, but it's just it doesn't work with architecture per se, but it just works with different models. Okay. All right. So let's move on. Having said that, we've installed Git and we've installed Word. We've installed VS Code, right? So how do you install these tools? I'll click on them, and this is VS Code. I'll click on it. All right. So if I click on it, it's supposed to install. Let's hold on a little while. If it takes time, I'll have to go to my download folder. So let's see, download. Let's see. So this is it here. Can you see? This is VS Code here. So if I double click on this, I'm supposed to get the application up and running. Okay, so I want to believe that everybody knows how to do this. So I'm going to just click on accept. If you've not done this before, accept, click on next, next, next. Now, I'm doing this because of having the same smooth experience. So please take note and see the options I'm going to choose at this point. I'm going to do this. Okay. I checked this two box in addition to other ones that are there. And I clicked on install. So VS Code is currently installing. So while VS Code is installing, this is Git. Okay. For now, we are not showing you how it works or how to even use it, because we'll get to that point where we'll learn how to use these things. All right. Okay. Please let me know if you are confused or you need more clarity. All right. So now, if you notice, there's a checkbox here. You can uncheck this. You can check it again just to know. Okay. I will leave it checked, but it doesn't matter if you uncheck it. It doesn't matter. Okay. But when you check it, it means when you click finish, it's going to launch the application. All right. I just want you to know that if you are not aware. So I'll just click on finish. So it's going to launch the application for me. So this is how VS Code looks like. Okay. So this is what we call VS Code, right? Okay. So we are not learning how this works for now. All right. When the time comes, we will get all those things sorted out. All right. So now the next thing I want to install is Git. I'll double click on it. Okay, so following, let's see if we have covered. Okay. All right, so this is Git. So just click on next. Okay, permission. Next. All right. Interestingly, I'll just check this box. I don't want updates from it. I want this. Okay. And so I click on next. Okay, I click on next. Now I won't rush to click here. Watch this. I want to use my Git terminal with my VS Code. So I'm going to click on this drop down. Take note of what I'm doing. I click on this drop down and select use Visual Studio Code as my Git default editor. Okay, that's what I want to use. Okay, that VS Code there is what I want to use as the editor. So I'll click on next. And the next thing I want to do here is okay, when we start learning Git, we're going to learn a lot of things, but I don't want Git to be using master as the name of the branch. Master. Okay, there's something we call branch name. When we get to Git, I will explain all those things. So, but because recently the name has been changed to main instead of master, so I'm going to click on this. Okay, I can change the name here. Okay, if you leave it this way, anytime you create a branch, it's going to be using master as the name of the branch, except you change it. Okay, so but I want that to be effected immediately. So I'll select this option and click on next. All right, so I don't want to confuse you with any other thing. So, but let's just continue with the remaining options. I can change some other things, but again, I don't want anybody to get confused, right? So I'll just keep it very simple. Yes, that's all. Okay. So we're currently installing Git. Any questions so far? Please let me know if you have any question for me. Right. So we've installed VS Code, we've installed Git. So the next thing we need to do is create what we call a GitHub account, right? So how do we create a GitHub account? It's very simple, very, very simple. All you need to do is just to come here and type GitHub. Sorry. Yeah, GitHub. It's not showing. Git. Okay, good. Right, so once you type GitHub and you hit the search button, you're going to see this. Okay, so it's an online repository. There's more to it. Okay, we're going to explain when we get to that point. So I'll just click here, and this is what you'll see. So just like opening a Gmail account, okay, or a Twitter account, a TikTok account, is the same way, right? So I encourage everybody to create their own account. So all I will do at this point is just click on sign up here. I can do the same thing here by putting an email here, but I'll just keep it simple by clicking on sign up here. And it's going to tell you welcome, blah, 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 and so on. Just enter your email. So I'm going to say, this is going to be DevOps Bootcamp. DevOps Bootcamp 1. Let's see if it's not taken. Okay, so it's possibly, let me just use this cloud inside. Okay, at gmail.com. All right, so let's copy this. Okay, so it's asking for password. So let me just okay, continue. Okay, let's see. All right, DevOps. So you can use any name of your choice, right? So, okay, it must be a unique name. So 2024, DevOps Engineer 2024. So let's do this. Okay, so I hope this is not confusing for anybody. If you've not done it before, this is just creating a GitHub account. Okay, so I think I already have this email here. So the idea was putting this plus sign. I want to be receiving it on this same email account. Okay, so if you see this email that I have here, so this email, if you click here, you're going to see this is using Cloud and Cyber, right? So, and if you see the GitHub account I'm trying to create, cloud and cyber plus this. So the idea is this is supposed to drop in on this email account, okay, because of the plus sign. But let's try it out if it's going to accept it, because that's the way it works. So I'll click and continue. Let's see what happens. Please let me know if you're stuck and you need clarity on anything. All right, our Git is still, okay, our Git is done installing. You can uncheck this. Did you see the same way we did our VS Code where we launched it? You can do the same thing for Git too. You can check this box and click finish. Why, you may be wondering, why did I uncheck this? It's just the notes to show the installation document, some kind of information about it. So if you click finish, this is what you will see. Okay, so this is the application, the Git application. So is it, the notes is trying to open, okay, but let me use Notepad to open it. So you see, this is the notes, the release notes, trying to give you information, Git license, and the rest of them. Okay, so I don't need this. Okay, so that's all. But this is the Git bash. So we've installed Git and it's working very fine. One way you can know it's working very fine as a DevOps engineer is to type git-version. Sorry. Let me expand this. Okay, git-v will tell you the version of the Git. Okay, as you can see. So everything's working very fine. So I can now exit if I want to. So it's done. I hope that's not confusing for anybody if this is your first time. Okay, great, Mr. Habib. Awesome. Right, so the next thing we have here is GitHub. So remember, we're still working on GitHub. We're only just waiting for it to load. So it's telling us to do something. Please solve this puzzle. Okay, verify your account. So click on verify here. Let's see. It's just going to show me a puzzle to solve. Oh, awesome. That's a great one, Mr. Habib. Thank you. I'm glad you're following and you understand. 4 times this. Let's see, 4x this. Now this is confusing, but 4 times of this. Okay, these guys are very funny. What this means is 4 of this. It should be this, right? It looks like this, look like this. So submit. So very funny. It can be frustrating, right? But okay, that's fine. If you already have it, that's fine. Yes, just to be clear, Git is different from GitHub. You will get to understand better when we get to that point. I want you to see Git as a local repository and GitHub as a remote repository or online repository. Okay, have you heard about OneDrive before? Have you heard about Google Drive before? Have you heard about Dropbox before? If your answer to these questions is yes, do you know that you can set up your computer to have Dropbox or OneDrive or Google Drive on your computer system? Now, you can save the file on your computer system, right? Now, if for any reason you connect the account to your online account, automatically, anytime you push a file to that place, it's also going to reflect on the cloud. In other words, from your phone, you can go open to your Google Drive from any device. You can open your Google Drive and access it. Okay, so that's the analogy between local and remote or online. Okay, but don't worry, you will understand it better when we start getting. Okay, beautiful. All right, so let's do this quickly. I don't know why this is acting weird. Okay, if this doesn't work, I could literally just send a video on how to create a GitHub account. So this is, let's try it again. Oh my God. So this is frustrating. So that we don't dwell so much here. It's already coming back to this page. So if there's anybody here that hasn't created a GitHub account, okay, I have the VS Code installed, but I'm seeing associate Git with default. Okay, let me get that question again. I'm not sure I saw your, let's see. I have the VS Code installed, but I'm seeing associate Git with default editor. All right, so if you check the drop down, can you paste the screenshot? If you paste the screenshot, then I can tell you, okay, the default text editor. Well, for me, I chose VS Code. Okay, I chose VS Code, and that was why I actually installed VS Code before the Git. Because if you don't have VS Code, if you click the drop down, you won't see it there. You understand? So please just install VS Code first before you do it. And if it's not the same thing you are saying that I'm trying to explain, please drop a screenshot, take a screenshot of your computer screen and paste it on the chat section. I'll be able to guide you. All right? Thank you. Okay, so friends, I'm going to send a link, a video. I'm going to do a recording, or I will send you a recorded video from YouTube on how to create a GitHub account. I know this is not difficult, so don't worry about it if you're having difficulty. Okay, so just so that we don't dwell much time on this, I actually have over 3 GitHub accounts. Okay, I just wanted to walk you through on how to create a simple GitHub account. Okay, all right. So if we have been able to successfully create our GitHub account, the next thing I want to show you is AWS, which is going to be our cloud. Now, if this is your first time hearing about cloud, don't worry. When we get into cloud computing and the likes, we will explain a lot of these details. Okay, so just like we have what we call internet service providers, we also have what we call cloud service providers. If you want to make a call from your current location, you want to contact somebody, right? There are specific people responsible for those services. You need to contact them. They give you a SIM card, and over their broadband, you will be able to make that call successfully. Okay, they connect you to the internet. So in my country, we call them internet service providers. Okay, like okay, you can't hear me anymore. Is that true for everybody? Kindly confirm, friends. Can you hear me audibly?
Yes,
We
I
can,
can hear
we
you.
can hear you. I can hear you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Mr. Kalu, if you don't mind, try to exit and join again. All right? Perhaps it's a network challenge. Thank you so much, Mr. Nasser. Thank you. Mr. or Mrs. Glad, please, I want to tell you, if you know how to walk around this before now, you don't need to redo this anymore. Okay? So, because I will always show you how to find your way around it. But if you just want to be on the same page with all of us, right? It's okay. You can uninstall the VS Code, okay? And maybe reinstall the Git again, because this is the latest version of Git, of course. So if you download it and try to install it again, it will override the old one, okay? But the first thing you should do is make sure you install VS Code before you install the Git, okay? So, but if you already have these setups already done before, for me personally, I won't ask you to redo it, okay? So I will have a way to tell you what to do so you'll be on the same page with us. But if you still want to flow and be doing it exactly the way we are doing it, I mean, be my guest. We'll still get everything sorted out. All right. Thank you so much. All right. So let's move on. I was talking about the internet service providers. So in my country, we have companies. I have one of the companies called MTN. I have another one called Globalcom. Okay, these are internet service providers. They can help me to provide they provide internet services for me. Okay, so we also have some companies we call cloud service providers that provide cloud services. Okay, now when we talk about cloud computing, I'll tell you what those kind of services are. Okay, you can rent virtual machines, you can rent media services. Okay, so but don't worry, when we get to that point, I'll discuss all these things extensively and you'll get to enjoy it. Okay, so one of the popular cloud service providers is called AWS. Another one is called Azure, or some people call it Azuri. I don't know how you pronounce it, but either Azuri, Azure, or Azure. Anywhere, just it's a cloud service provider. We also have GCP. We also have that's Google Cloud. Okay, so we also have Oracle. We also have Alibaba. We also have Linode. We also have DigitalOcean. These are all cloud service providers. All right. So, but the popular one is called AWS. Okay. So we're going to touch on AWS. We're also going to touch on Azure, and maybe, just maybe, we might touch on GCP. Just maybe. I don't know yet. So, but let's see how things go. Okay. So the idea is, somebody wants to say something? All right. If you are not, please, I encourage us to all to please be on mute. All right. So, for the AWS, what is to just type AWS on the search engine. Just come here and type AWS and hit enter. Okay. So you should be able to create a new account. Okay. So I just type AWS and hit enter. Let's see what happens. So this is the page it brings me to, right? I hope this should be the same page with everybody on this call. All right. If it's not, let me know. I will share this link. Okay. Take a look at this so you can see. Okay. So be careful of what you type in here if you are typing it, so you don't go into a phishing site and share your credit card information. Please, I encourage you to be very sensitive or observant when you do this. Great. So this is the first time. Just click on create an AWS account. Right now, we may not dwell on this because we've not gotten to the cloud section, but if on your own you can do this, that will be wonderful. Okay, that will be wonderful. Okay, I will also share a video on it. I think I have created a video on this before. I could share that video once again on how you can create an AWS account. I strongly encourage everybody to have one. It's very, very important. Okay, it's a requirement for this learning. Okay, so but we'll have some plans around some things you can use to make your learning experience smooth. Okay, all right. So I don't know why this is lagging. Probably it's from them. All right, so pending when this opens, the next thing we want to do is to install what is it called, VirtualBox. Okay, so take note of the tools we're installing. VS Code, we've installed it. Git, we've installed it. GitHub, assumably we've created the account for it. Okay, so if you don't have GitHub, I've already shown you how to create one. Okay, so once you go to your email and confirm it, automatically it takes you to your account. All right, so I'm also going to share a video on this. All right, so the same, we've also talked about AWS. All right, so the next one we'll talk about is VirtualBox. Okay, I'm showing you how to install it. I actually have one here. Okay, this is one of them. So I actually deleted some things, right, just to do everything from scratch. All right, so this is what a VirtualBox manager looks like. All right, Oracle VirtualBox to be precise. So it's a virtual machine manager. That's what it is. We'll talk about this as we move on in other sections. So, but let's come here. So this is for AWS. I wanted to do VirtualBox. Just come here and type VirtualBox and hit enter. You're going to see this Oracle VirtualBox. Just click on this. It's going to open. All right. So friends, before, okay, let's continue with VirtualBox. So if you get to this place, all right, all you need to do, it's very simple. Just come here. You're going to see downloads at the left section. See my cursor here at the left section. Downloads. I'll click on this. Now, if you look closely, you're going to see different distributions or platforms. If you're a Mac OS user, please click on this. Now, I know this could be if you are using an M1 chip, it's different. Okay. In case for anybody using a Mac OS M1 chip, all those M1 series and the rest of them, it's you may not be able to install this successfully without encountering some kind of glitches. Okay, you might struggle. Okay, you might struggle. Just you might. Okay, but if you have issues, let me know. I can show you how to work around it. All right. So, but other Mac OS distribution, the Intel-based Mac OS, you can click on this. Okay, it works very fine. i7, i5, and the rest of them. Mac OS, it works very fine. So if you're a Windows user, you can click this and automatically it starts installing Windows for you. Okay, so it's currently installing. So it's installing. So let's wait for some few minutes. But while it's downloading rather, not installing. While it's downloading, I can easily just go back to my AWS. So this is where how to create an AWS account. All right, you will need to provide your email address, right? So let's assume this is the email, all right? So you need to provide an account name. So let's assume we're using demo account. And you will need to click on verify email address. Now, it wants to verify that that email is correct. So it has sent an email to you. You understand? So, and this is not on this computer system. This email address is not on this computer system. So I won't be able to confirm this now, right? So, but if you're doing it, you will be the code. The process of creating this account can take you about 3 to 5 minutes if you know what you're doing, because you will need to also provide your account details, credit card details, and your address. What do I mean by that? Using the cloud is very, very expensive, but we will be using some of the free services, and we'll guide you on how it works too. Okay, so one of the reasons why you will be providing your credential, like your credit card details, is simply because imagine I'm inviting you to an event, right? And I told you that event is where the rich and mighty attends. Okay, the rich and the mighty people in the society attend that party. Okay, and I invited you for that party. Now, just as a guarantee that if anything happens in this party, if you destroy anything, right, or there's some things you're not supposed to do, right? So they'll tell you, okay, please, this is your down payment. Can you just drop your credit card, right? So once you drop your credit card, they let you into the party. So you have access to food and some things you can use, right? Now, but if you say, I want to go into the VVIP room to do something, they will tell you, okay, young man, you have to pay for this. If you say, okay, no problem, I want to pay for it, they already have your credit card, so they will charge it from there. But if you say, no, I don't want to go to VVIP, let me just stay at the free level and enjoy what I have here, no problem. AWS will not charge your account. You understand? So that's the idea behind it. So I don't want you, so if just for creating the account, you might be charged maybe $1, okay? that $1 is just to confirm that that account is active, and charges can be transaction can go on that account. Once it's confirmed, after you've set up the account, either at the same day or 24 to 48 hours, the $1 will be credited back to your account. Do you understand? Please, I want you to take note of all this, because the steps, it's a little bit confusing if you've not done it before. All right. So I just want you to know, once you confirm your email and move to the next step, it's going to ask you to provide your address. And after you provide your address, it's going to ask you for your credit card. Okay. So that's what you should, it's a personal and private information. So I don't want you to be overwhelmed. Okay. That's why I'm explaining this for you. And once you're able to do that, you'll be sent a lot of emails. You just go back, confirm. And once you're done, you'll get a welcome page that brings you into AWS. Okay. So when we get into that section, we will learn it properly. All right. So, but I'm also going to send a video on how this works. All right. So I don't overwhelm any of you. All right. Having said that, let's check our virtual box. All right. So let's assume we're done with AWS now. So this is our virtual box. I'm sure it's done installing. So let's see. This is the virtual box. Double click on it. All right, cool. All right, so this is it. Okay, so this is the virtual box. All right, so click on next. All right, so I'm installing this virtual box. I'll click on next. Oh, proceed with this. Okay, so friends, if for any reason this disconnects, it may be temporal because of what we're seeing here. Okay, because I need to show you this, I'll just proceed with this. But if it disconnects, don't worry, it's going to be temporal. But let's just continue to see. Missing dependency. Let's see. It's full. But I don't think it should disconnect. It should work flawless. I've not had any need for it. Okay. Okay, I think I have it's, let's see. No. It's just a dependency for this particular version. You don't need to install it per se. It's going to do the installation on the background, some dependencies for you. Let me see. Okay, I think this is those ones I have opened before. Let me see. Manager. Retry. Interface. Let's say. I don't know if it's this. This is the installer. Oh, let's see. Okay, this is the interface. All right, retry. Okay, good. You see? So I just opened something with to terminate some things running at the background. Okay, if you're wondering what I'm doing, so these are troubleshooting techniques and things you should know. Okay, even though they are more like system administration skills, right? If you've not done some of these things before, or you're not an IT person before now, these are some things you may have done because you own a computer. But there's something called task manager. Okay, and that's what I used to terminate some processes that are running in the background. Okay. Okay, so I'm installing my virtual box. All right, good. So this is virtual box. It's done installing. So I'll click on finish. And it's supposed to pop up the interface to launch the application for me. All right, so let's wait for a few seconds to a minute. All right, so far we've successfully installed some of this. We've set up the applications or the tools, the popular tools we'll be using in the program. There's so many others we'll be installing. We've not done anything on Docker, Terraform, Kubernetes, and Jenkins, Ansible, and the rest of them. We'll get to all those points later. Okay, but I just wanted us to have experience with some of the things with as we move on. Okay, so there's also another one called Vagrant, okay, which I believe hopefully in the next class we should be able to settle that. Okay, so so far, any question? Any question from anybody? Friends, please let me know. Does anybody have a question for me? Am I still on? Oh, hold on. Okay. Can you all still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, you can hear you.
Oh, I was wondering. I was thinking maybe probably there I was no longer sharing my screen because everywhere became so quiet, and then I was thinking I wasn't recording anymore. Okay. Okay, for Daniel, Mr. Daniel, about which to log into right now. You can use the root account temporarily, okay? But if you know how to create the IAM account, that is the best way to go, okay? If you know how to, fine, go ahead with the IAM. But for the meantime, if you don't know how to, you can stick with the root account. But for best practice, please stick to IAM, right? You'll be guided on how this works in subsequent classes when we get to that point. I hope this makes sense. All right. So, let's see, VirtualBox. Let's see if it opens. This. Let's see. Okay, probably I would need to uninstall the old one. Or, okay, I think this should be the same one. They just have the same applications I was using before, 7.0, so it's fine. You might not see this here, okay? You may not see this base image, right? Don't worry about this. And I think I would have loved us to do this now. Okay, this will be a simple task for everybody. This will be a simple task. If in case you don't know how to do it, you can just go online and learn. If you don't worry. In the next class, we'll still solve that problem. But what we are supposed to do is we're going to install, set up our first operating system on this virtual box. Okay, so we'll be using a lot of operating systems. Okay, we'll be good navigating across many of them. So you can try Ubuntu, but this is what I want to show off. Okay, please, I'm going to address your question shortly. Okay, just give me a few minutes, please. All right, so come here. I want you to type something here. Come and type OS boxes. Did you see what I typed? OS boxes. If you hit enter, OS boxes, and click this, there's something you will notice. Okay, take note. This is different from the original platform. Okay, this is an open source initiative. Now, if you want a compressed or a condensed version of an operating system, okay, like Ubuntu, Windows, and the rest of them, a packaged one, you can download them from this platform. If you've never used Linux before, please don't worry yourself. All these are introductions, okay? It will make more sense in the next class and subsequent, all right? So, but this is what I want you to do for me. I want you to just attempt installing an operating system on your virtual machine. That's what I want you to do. This is the virtual machine, okay? This is the virtual machine. I want you to attempt installing one of them, and you can get some of those base images from here, okay? So, virtual machine images, okay? So there are different kinds of virtual machine applications or hypervisors in case. We have VirtualBox, we have VMware, okay? VMware. This is another one used by companies, okay? So we might use VMware, but I want to take it slow and steady so I don't overwhelm you, right? So if I want to use VirtualBox images, I'll just click here, close this. So if you come here, you're going to see a lot of VirtualBox images here, a lot of them for different types of operating system. Okay, different types of operating system, Parrot and the rest of them. Okay, if you want to, if you don't know, if you've never used a particular operating system, you can try it here. That's why there are so many of them here. So, but the simplest one to use is called Ubuntu, right? So we're going to be using this Ubuntu. So now, because we're not dealing on Linux right now, I want you to know there's a difference between this Ubuntu and Ubuntu server. It's just like saying, this is the GUI version, this is the terminal version. Okay, but slow and steady. I'll just click on Ubuntu here, and you're going to see this. Download this is the VirtualBox image, the VDI image, virtual disk image, interface image. So I'm going to right click this and open in a new tab. And this is the official website. Right click and open in a new tab. So you see something. If I click here, this is the OS Boxes Ubuntu page. And this is the different versions of Ubuntu. Version 23, version 23, version 22, version 20, and so on. Now, take note that this is a compressed version. Okay, this is already packaged. But if you go to the official website, you understand? If you go to the official website of Ubuntu and you want to download Ubuntu, it's different. You'll be doing everything from scratch completely, everything from scratch. So the task there is choose whichever one you want to. If you click on download now, it will take you to this page where you need to provide some information and you need to download it. But I think there's another way we can, let me see, Ubuntu desktop. See, yeah, download Ubuntu. Yeah, so I hope it's not confusing. Let me do it again so you all see. So this is the page, Ubuntu. So this is just the guide. This is just a documentation. Just go to products, Ubuntu desktop. Or I think if you come down, you'll still see, okay, they've actually changed their interface. All you need to do, just click here, Ubuntu desktop, all right? And when you do that, you're going to see this, download Ubuntu. And when you click on this, it's going to take you here and you see different versions of Ubuntu. And you see version 23 and version 22. But this platform gives you even version 20, version 18, version 16. Older versions of Ubuntu in case you want to play around with things. All right. So if you want to download it, all you need to do is just click on this and it's going to download it. Often it's in an ISO format. You may be wondering what's ISO. Relax. I will explain some of these things later. So if I click on download, watch what's going to happen. I think it's trying to download. Okay, you see? It's already trying to download. But if you check here, can you see it ends with .iso? .iso. Okay, the Ubuntu version .iso. But so this is about 4.7 GB. Okay, so but if you come here and see the version 22, you notice this is 2.2 gig. That's why I told you this is compressed. So if you are the kind of person that you need to conserve data, that's the reason why I'm showing you this, right? So I want us to have alternatives. I want us to be able to explore a lot of things so we can get a lot of tasks done. Okay. All right. So so the exercise is just for you to just learn how to install Ubuntu on your VirtualBox. Okay. Your task is to install Ubuntu on your VirtualBox. Okay. So if you want to go online and Google or go on YouTube and learn, fine. Some of you already know how to do it. Okay. Just that's fine as well. In the next we're going to address this. So I think we've been able to do justice to the installations, and I think we're going to stop here for today. But let's take the questions, and if there's any other thing, then we'll know what to do. All right, Mr. Popola, right? You have a question. Go ahead if you still have one. Go ahead, please. Then I'll address this.
Okay. Yeah, good day, everyone.
Hi, good evening.
Okay. Yes, sir. I want to ask question about the VirtualBox. Can I use VM Player instead of VirtualBox? Is it
VMware,
recommended, sir?
okay.
Yes.
The VM Player is a subset of VMware. Yes, you can,
Yes.
please. You can. If you know what to do around it, you're good to go, please.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Sorry.
yes. The only reason why we are using a specific one is so that we can have unison, right?
Oh,
so that
okay,
if there's
okay.
any problem somebody has, and we know how to troubleshoot it, it's going to be universal,
Okay.
general for
Okay.
everybody. But if you understand your way around it, please enjoy yourself. All right.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Then it's
Yes, sir.
on. You're welcome.
All right, sir. Yes.
All right. Mr. Tegerin said, do we have to get it from OS boxes or from Ubuntu website itself? Okay. Now, like I said before, either of them will still do the job, right? Now, the OS boxes gives you a packaged version. So what they did is this: they created a subsidized version of the operating system and created an account for you. But if you want the full-blown, complete version, Ubuntu operating system itself, you have to go to the website, the official website, to get it. Does that make any sense, Mr. Tiggerin? I hope you understand this. So if you need the condensed version, that will still give you the same performance. It will give you a good performance, but you want it's going to be I think at the max is about 20 VDI, 20 disk image. You understand? 20 gig disk image. But with the full blown version, you can exceed as many amounts. You can exceed 20 gig. Okay, that's one of the major difference between OS boxes images and the official website images. Okay. Okay, yeah, no. Either of them. The most important thing is the end result. Did you get the end result? And do you understand what you're doing? Once you understand it, that works for me as well. All right. Okay, so friends, we've been able to do great justice to today's session. We've been able to address all the concerns that was raised. And any questions so far? Do you have any question? Is there anything you want me to address so that I can do so? Other than that, I think we've done justice. We've actually spent almost 2 hours, so I don't want to keep you waiting. Okay, so do expect a lot of updates from us. And tomorrow we are going to be moving full blown into introduction to DevOps. Okay, do a lot of explanation and do a lot of things, and we'll kick it from there. So it's going to be the same time, 7 p.m. tomorrow, and 7 p.m. GMT +1. And just stay updated, and please remember to reach out if you have any need for counsel or clarity. I hope today's session has been informative for everybody. And if that's true, thank you so much for joining us today.